this is the intro. Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm doing the It's Finally Fall tag. I was tagged by Alana from The Awkward Book Nerd and Emma from Emma's Bookshelves. I'll leave their links and channels and stuff in the description. I'll also leave like all the questions down below and any content warnings for the books that I mention. Hello, today I am hopping in quickly as editing me to say I have recorded this video 4 or 5 times now because chaos. I've been trying to film this video for like a month, I swear to God. So here it is, finally. Okay, hi, I am doing I'm gonna actually talk to you. Bringing it up. Okay, so the first question is, in the fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. I should really just have my glasses on, but anyways. So I have 2 mentions here. The first being A Winter's Promise by Christelle Debeau. This is so beautiful, it is so wintry, it is so atmospheric, it is like, most of the book you are just exploring this new arc that Ophelia is going to be living on once her marriage goes through, and so it's just really great. I loved it so much, it was so beautiful. And I am also going to mention The Kingdom of Back. This is like a historical fantasy type thing. It's really good, it's really beautiful. I'm gonna say that it's not like as visual as A Winter's Promise in terms of, visuals, like I'm seeing the setting type thing. It's more lush in terms of like atmosphere, the experience. You are there with the characters feeling the same things as they are in their dreams and stuff like that. So it's all very cool, it's all very atmospheric, it's very vivid. I like could smell the oranges, I could taste the honey, I could like see the blue. I was there, I was in it, in a completely different way than A Winter's Promise. And so I just wanted to mention those both, just because. So Kingdom of Back, you follow Nannerl and Wolfgang, and it's kind of like a story that talks about siblings and what it means to be a woman in, I think it's the 19th century or 1800s? That's the 19th century. I can talk. Who is just trying to find her voice, her place in the world, and it's great. The fantastical elements are more subtle. It's more like a historical fiction than it is fantasy, and so it's great. A Winter's Promise is more fantastical in terms of it's literally a chunk of floating earth that is cold and wintry and has like illusions and mirages, and you don't know what's real and what's not. So it's completely different. But in A Winter's Promise, you follow Ophelia, and she's about to be married to Thorn, who is the bastard son of one of the like reigning clans on the Ark. And so she kind of gets thrown into the political drama of it all, and by the end of book 1 she figures out that her marriage was arranged so that she and Thorn could complete this one task for the family spirit. It's so cool. So the next question is, nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. For that one, I'm gonna go with Legendborn. This book also covers the first prompt. It's very vivid, but it deals a lot with grief. It deals a lot with loss. It deals a lot with finding yourself after the loss, and it deals with making a space for yourself in areas that historically do not want you, and it is very good. I feel like everyone is talking about Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Everybody knows. It's like I don't want to say it's a King Arthur retelling because it's not a retelling. It's like inspiration from. It's wonderful. I love it. So you follow Bree. Her mother has just died, and you follow her journey shortly after her mother has died, and then you discover secret society stuff at this university prep program that Bree goes to over the summer, and it's so good. It's so good. So good. The next question is, in order to keep warm, fall is back to school season. Share a non-fiction book that taught you something new. The other 4 times that I filmed this, I would say that question and it would make no sense to my brain. Today, it's making sense. Why is that? But I have Resistance Island by Gavin McCormick and Satoko Norimatsu. This book, it brought me so much knowledge and my special interest for my university degree was kind of like it springboarded off of the work that Norimatsu-san did, and she inspired me so much. I went to like this symposium talk at my old college because I was interested. I was taking like a Japanese language course, and my professor had like briefly mentioned that there's going to be a talk about Okinawa and how Okinawa has like a really tense history. And so I was like, oh, I'm interested, and I went, and they talked about how Okinawa was originally the Ryukyu Islands, and Japan annexed them and colonized them and completely just destroyed their identity and their culture, because they put them through like forced assimilation programs, and like it's a big deal. So once World War II hit, obviously Japan was like, oh yeah, the United States Army, they can go all in Okinawa and fuck up their lands, but not our lands. So I highly suggest, if you enjoy books that talk about military injustices and historical events, World War II, then I would suggest reading Resistance Islands, Okinawa Confronts Japan in the United States, because this is a good story. Well, it's not good, it's devastating, it's heart-wrenching. It goes into like the Battle of Okinawa, it goes into survivors of like military attacks, it goes into the environmental degradation that the islands are seeing due to the United States Army being on the island, and it's just, it's good. I highly suggest it. I'm gonna see my stack of books. So the next question, I think it has to do with found family. In order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family, household, friend group that you'd like to be a part of. So for that, I chose the Gumiho series by Kacho. I want to be a part of this quartet so badly. I love Junu, I love Somin, I love Miyong, I love Jihoon, and I just want to be a part of this found family. I feel like you've seen me talk about this before, so you know, we know what it's about, and that I love it. So I'm not going to go into it too much, but that book also deals with like grief and loss, and it has a vivid setting. What else is there? It'll definitely teach you something new as well, even though it's not nonfiction. So the next question is, the colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-covered spines. So for this, I have this. I have The Missing of Claire the Loon, I have The Winter of the Witch, The Poppy War, and Red Queen. As my fall-colored, you can't see it, it's my fall-colored pile. The next question is fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story within a story. Obviously, I'm gonna say The Starless Sea. This book is my baby. Dorian is that storyteller. Zachary is that beach, that new storyteller, I dare say. There's so many books in this book. There's so many stories in this story. It's so good. Please read it if you like atmospheric, lyrical, lush, slow pace, all over the pace books, because I love it so much. Question 7 is the nights are getting darker. Share a dark and creepy read. Obviously, I'm going to be mentioning Mexican Gothic. We follow Noemi, and she's going to see her cousin Catalina because her cousin just got married to this like white dude, and I don't want to say English colonialist dude, and some distressing letters have been received, and so her father was like, Catalina needs her help, go check on her. And so Noemi goes, and the house that she stays in with Catalina and her new family is like, it's like Get Out meets The Haunting of Hill House meets like the same uncomfortable, grating feeling that Hereditary gave me. And obviously there's content warnings for non-consensual contact, because, not to like give it away, but you can't really tell what's a dream and what's not in some parts. At least I couldn't. And so there's some points when Virgil Doyle is getting a little weird, and so if you need the pages and stuff, I'll leave them down in the description. They'll be there. This book was good. I highly suggest it. For dark, creepy, so creepy. I'm never looking at mushrooms the same. That's all I gotta say. The days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. I'm going to suggest Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto. This book was so good. It's so heartwarming. There's like, it's a Japanese translated novel, but there's a, like, I think they're trans side character, but you follow Mikage, and she just lost her grandmother, and as someone who doesn't have any parents, she just relies on her grandma, lives with her grandma, took care of her grandma. That's obviously a very big life change, and so you follow Mikage, and she meets Yoichi and his mother, Eriko, who is the trans character, and so they just create a found family, and it's so beautiful, and it's so, I love it. I'm gonna reread it. I read it last year, this time of the year, for a class, and now I just want to read it for fun because it's so cute. My group chat is going off. The next question is, fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. I'm going to mention Red Queen because I'm actually going to be rereading this with Erin and Alana from Booked and Busy and The Awkward Book Nerd in November. So yeah. Oh no. I have to show you my reading accessories. So I read with this blanket, I read with these pillows, I read with this little reading thing, I have this boss-ass chair. So I have this chair, and it like is adjustable, so I can have it as wide or as not as I want. So I love this chair, and I use my weighted blanket a lot, but I'm not going to bring that over because that's heavy and I'm a weakling. So yeah, I am tagging Erin from Booked and Busy, and maybe Monet from Life is Monet because she's struggling to come up with content. And I also tag Malia from Literary Fairy. So yeah, with that, I will see you next time. Links and stuff in the description. You know what to do. Bye!
So he says, a certain person has argued Lord Asano was a poor swordsman. His failure to complete his attack was disgraceful. Clearly he would have been no use to the shogunate.
I'd really enjoy having a boyfriend who didn't actively participate in class discussions. That would be great. Watch him talk some more. And some more. And some more. And some more. Bro, just write a fucking paper.
From a certain person has argued that the 46 men who killed Lord Kira because their master Lord Asano had failed to do so, and not because Lord Kira attacked Lord Asano. Therefore, Lord Kira was not the enemy of the master. And then goes on to say, such shallow reasoning is based on ignorance of the true meaning of the springs and mountains. And it sort of